It's so rare to have costumes that transcend just being costumes, that become scenery and become architectural elements on stage.
Drawing together a range of styles and influences, many of which are taken from the African cultures that feature so heavily in the show, every costume in The Lion King is truly unique.
This is a dancing lioness costume that used in the lioness hunt, and it's fully beaded corset. Just turn around a little bit, Patience, we'll see, put your arm up. And we've taken attention to detail all the way around with all the beads, changing colour, gently, gradually. There are no sparkles or sequins or anything like that in the show. It's all a matte finish, which gives it that sort of look as if it's in the African savannah, this sort of sun-baked look. This is one of the grassland costumes used in Act 1. There's about 24 of them on all together to create the feeling of the savannah when Mufasa and Simba are out hunting. There's a steel hoop to hold out the grass at the bottom. It's important that they look cohesive as a group. If they were all to sort of be individual, then the effect would be lost. And then a lovely little grass corset made of artificial leaves from the skin colour of the performer, moving down to be lighter as it approaches the grass, and then going up to the grass at the top. The board is incidentally made of the same sort of stuff that they make airplane wings out of, so that it's supremely light. It's really, really light. You'd be amazed at how light this is.
From the auditorium, one thing the audience might not realise is the attention to detail in all the costumes. Whether principal costumes or ensemble, individual beads are hand-sewn on, and the majority of the costumes are hand-painted and printed to ensure they look perfect.
If you can imagine any aspect of you or anyone's clothing being worn 8 times a week for 52 weeks of the year, how quickly it would wear out, you know. So they have to take care of everything really carefully. Really carefully hand wash most things. Make sure that everything's shiny and new as it should be on day one.
An example of this level of care and attention is that every single cast member's shoes are hand-painted to match their exact skin tone, and adjusted and repainted if the cast comes back from holiday with a suntan.
We had a number of ideas at play when Julie was designing the costumes. We tried different things and did actually a laboratory, if you will, for a number of characters. And as we played with each of these techniques and looked at them, the ones that were the most exciting are the versions that you see in the show today.
With the look of each of the characters being so familiar to those who've seen the animated film, the show's director Julie Taymor employed not only elaborate costumes, but also masks and puppets to turn the human actors into animal characters.
I took the Lion King images, the looks of the characters in the movie, and I fed them through my own aesthetic and my own ability or my own style, and came out with another one. With each animal, I had to find the exact technique that would be best serving that character.
We've probably got in excess of 300 puppets, ranging from the enormously expensive, complicated Scar puppet, all the way down to a tiny little single hand-operated shadow puppet.
The challenge is that the dancers and actors have to be game and enthusiastic to embrace that they're going to have these other appendages and that they're going to have limitations, and they'll be very challenged. And when we audition, we always look when people are auditioning with these puppets to see if they have joy or if they're going to be overwhelmed.
With the puppets being such an integral part of the show, it's essential that both their design and maintenance ensure the actors are able to incorporate them into their performance.
This is one of our main jobs here, to make sure that we keep all the masks and puppets as light as possible. The prongs here are made out of balsa wood, which is also very light wood. We use acrylic paints and several layers to make sure that it looks in the end like wood.
Well, these come over from the States as this, and this is just the raw carbon fibre mask. And what we do with this, we go through it, repair any breaks. There's a bit of a crack there, so we have all the raw materials in our workshop. And then we do a base coat, and then once the base coat's on, we can then go into all the details, like the halos around here, the black, all the different shadings, to bring out all the different contours. We then fit the crank to it, so we have a crank back here that tightens and vices on the girl's head.
The most difficult puppet to operate has got to be Timon. He's wearing it and he's operating it on different levels with his hands and with his mouth as well, so it really is a difficult one to master. It's a joy to watch. You're never quite sure what to look at.
I think one of our most difficult characters to animate, I think, is our bird is the zoo, is one of our principal characters also. The material of the zoo is also like carbon for the beak and for the body. And then a lot of feathers that we cut each by each, which is also quite a lot of work to cover it. And then there's a mechanics where he can open and close the beak and to animate the eyes. And then there's another handle for the wings. And all in combination makes a really lovely puppet, but it's really hard work for the character.
The actor's dressed in blue to represent the sky, and so he's able to, even though he is Zazu, the two of them together create Zazu. You see the beautiful flight of this small puppet, yet you're able to see the actor as well in his expressions.
So Zazu is a bird who also is holding a bird, a double event. You see the actor playing it, and that costume represents, I think, the biggest idea in The Lion King. That you could wear a human costume, a little bowler hat, what have you, and look like a human, look like an animal, represent some element of Africa, and still also represent the fusion, if you will, between Africa and the Englishness of that character.
Well, even Mufasa's mask, it looks like a beautiful sunrise. The strength and of this beautiful oak on his head is carried through in his entire body and his persona. And that is the complete opposite of Scar. Scar's mask is all cut with different lines. Everything is askew. Everything is angular. It's such a great opposite to who Mufasa is.
You know, they're just pieces of art by themselves. And the technique of fabricating them and creating them and making them move, all of that is just an extraordinary feat of sort of theatrical magic.
With all the theatrical elements in place to make this show unlike anything seen on stage before, once the theatre maker's work is done, the rest of the show's success is out of their hands.
When the audience walks out, I'm hoping they're thinking a few things. First, I hope that the story of The Lion King, about a young man who makes a mistake, believes he's done something terrible, decides to face his responsibility and go home to his community and set things right. I hope that resonates with them. I hope it also resonates with them, the thematic that we are all joined in this, if you will, circle of life that we sing about in the show. That each of us are interconnected and relate to each other. That's hugely important to me, that you realize that not only do you share this experience with an audience in a live theater setting, but we all share this planet together, and The Lion King has a lot to say about that.
And now, 10 years after its triumphant West End opening, The Lion King continues to enthrall audiences of all ages from around the world.